Ever traveled abroad and tasted something absolutely delicious, only to find out you can't buy it back home in the States? It's a frustrating feeling, right? Well, today, we re-diving into the fascinating world of foods that are banned in the USA, but perfectly legal and often beloved in other countries. You might be shocked by what's on this list. Let's start with a childhood favorite for many, Kinder Surprise eggs. These hollow chocolate eggs with a tiny toy inside are a staple in Europe, Canada, and beyond. But in the USA, they're a no-go. The ban dates back to a 1938 law, the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, which prohibits any food with a non-nutritive object embedded inside. The concern is that the small toy could be a choking hazard for young children. While other countries trust parents to supervise their kids, the US takes a hardline stance. They did eventually approve a modified version, the Kinder Joy, where the candy and toy are in separate halves of the package, but the classic Kinder Surprise remains forbidden's contraband. Next up, let's talk about a certain pinkish plump fish. If you've ever noticed that the farm salmon in the US looks a little pale compared to its wild counterpart, there's a reason. Many salmon farms around the world, particularly in places like Norway and Scotland, use astaxanthin to give their fish that vibrant pink-orange hue we associate with wild salmon. Astaxanthin is a powerful antioxidant, but the synthetic versions used in some fish feeds are banned for human consumption in the US unless they're derived from specific, approved sources. This is why you'll often see color added on salmon packaging here. So that beautiful, richly colored salmon you enjoyed in Europe might have a little secret ingredient that the FDA isn't a fan of. How about a fruity soda? If you've been to Japan or Europe, you might have tried Mountain Dew with real fruit juice and sugar. Sounds delicious, right? But the US version is a bit different. It contains something called brominated vegetable oil, or BVO. BVO is a food additive that helps keep citrus flavors from separating in soft drinks. Here's the catch. One of its main ingredients, bromine, is also used as a flame retardant. Over 100 countries, including the entire European Union and Japan, have banned BVO due to concerns about its potential health effects, like memory loss and skin issues. While the FDA still permits it in small amounts, major soda companies in the US have been phasing it out due to public pressure. So next time you grab that neon green soda, you might be drinking something your friends across the pond can't even buy. Let's move on to the bakery aisle. Think about those perfectly uniform, fluffy loaves of bread, pastries, and even some pizza doughs you find in US supermarkets. What gives them that amazing texture? Sometimes it's an ingredient called potassium bromate. This additive strengthens dough, helps it rise higher, and gives the final product a nice white color. The problem is, it's classified as a possible human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. As a result, it's banned in the European Union, Canada, Brazil, and even China. In the US, it's still legal, although California requires a warning label on products containing it. Many bakers have voluntarily stopped using it, but it's still out there. So that perfect slice of bread might have a controversial ingredient baked right in. Now for a truly divisive one. Haggis. Scotland's national dish is a savory pudding containing sheep's heart, liver and lungs minced with onion, oatmeal, suet, spices, and stock, traditionally encased in the animal's stomach. It's a centerpiece of Burns Night celebrations. But if you want to try authentic haggis in the USA, you're out of luck. Since 1971, the US has banned the importation of food containing sheep's lungs. This USDA rule effectively makes traditional haggis illegal. Scottish producers have been trying for decades to get the ban lifted, and they've even created US-friendly versions without the lungs. But for purists, it's just not the same. It's a classic case of one country's delicacy being another's banned substance. Let's talk about meat. Are you a fan of pork? Well, the way it's produced can differ wildly. In the US, it's common for pig farmers to use a drug called ractopamine. It's a feed additive that helps pigs gain lean muscle mass more quickly, making them more profitable. But here's the thing, about 160 other countries, including the entire EU, Russia, and China, have banned it. Why? They have concerns about its effects not just on the animals but also on the humans who consume the meat. Studies have linked it to hyperactivity and cardiovascular issues in pigs. Because of these bans, American pork producers who want to export their meat often have to raise separate, ractopamine-free herds. It's a huge point of contention in international trade agreements. Here's another one you might not expect. Certain types of milk. While the US market is flooded with different milk options, the raw, unpasteurized kind is heavily restricted. The FDA bans the interstate sale of raw milk, arguing that it can carry dangerous bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. Pasteurization, the process of heating milk to kill these pathogens, is standard practice. However, in many parts of Europe, buying raw milk from vending machines or directly from farms is common. Proponents argue that it has superior flavor and nutritional benefits, including beneficial enzymes and probiotics that are destroyed during pasteurization. They believe that with clean, well-managed farms, the risks are minimal. But in the US, the official stance is that the potential dangers far outweigh any perceived benefits. Next, a luxury item, foie gras. This French delicacy, made from the liver of a duck or goose that has been specially fattened, has a rich, buttery flavor that chefs adore. The fattening process, called gavage, involves force-feeding the birds. This practice is considered cruel by animal welfare activists, and as a result, the production and sale of foie gras have been banned in numerous countries and cities around the world, including the UK, Germany, and Italy. In the US, the battle is fought state by state. California has a long-standing ban on it, and New York City has also passed legislation to ban it, though legal challenges continue. So while you can still find it in many parts of the country, it's a food that is becoming increasingly controversial and restricted, while remaining a celebrated dish in its native France. Have you ever seen those shiny apples in the supermarket that look almost too perfect to be real? Some of that sheen might come from a wax coating that contains morpholin, an emulsifying agent. While the FDA considers it safe in the small amounts used on fruit, the European Union has a different opinion. They've banned it as a food additive over concerns that it could combine with nitrates in the body to form a potentially carcinogenic compound. So the EU opts for other waxing agents like beeswax or shellac, while the US allows a wider variety. It's another subtle difference in food safety philosophy. Finally, let's talk about fats. For decades, Americans were told to fear fats, and this led to the rise of fat-free products. One common ingredient in these was olestra, a synthetic fat substitute that provides 0 calories. It was used in snacks like fat-free potato chips. The problem? Olestra can cause, well, let's just say unpleasant digestive side effects. It also inhibits the absorption of some essential vitamins. Because of these issues, it was never approved in the UK or Canada. While it's still technically legal in the US, most companies have abandoned it due to its bad reputation and the consumers shift back towards enjoying healthy, natural fats. It's a great example of a miracle food that turned out to be too good to be true. So there you have it, a trip around the world through food regulations. From chocolate eggs to shiny apples, it's just clear that what is considered safe and acceptable to eat can vary dramatically from one country to another. These differences are shaped by culture, history, scientific interpretation, and public opinion. What do you think? Are these US bans sensible precautions or over-the-top regulations? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into forbidden foods interesting, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world around us. We'll see you in the next one.